What up, Kang? Gang. Welcome back to another episode of Wednesday Night SmackTalk, episode 101. Because last week was episode 100, and last week was Kangamania 4. Now, this week, I'm going to tell you what happened at Kangamania 4, or what happened at WrestleMania after Kangamania 4, because we have the WrestleMania results in, we have all the predictions results in, and now I'm going to tell you who won. And there are 18 matches on the WrestleMania 36 card, and we predicted all of them. We predicted about 13 of them on camera, or on video. Then the rest we predicted off screen. I asked them all before the matches happened. When they were announced, I asked them who they picked, and they gave me their predictions, so we have that. So we got 18 matches, which means I'm not doing 18 matches, because we also at Kangamania had 5 matches. So I'm going to go over all 5 of our matches, but I'm only going to go over their differing ones. So there you go. And try and keep up. It's going to be hard for me. I know it's going to be hard for you. So, I'm going to start off with the Figure Memorial Battle Royal, because that's what we started off with in night 1. So, Elias versus King Corbin. Franco and Taquito, El Taquito, Violente, both picked Elias. Everybody else picked Corbin. Elias did win, giving Franco and Taquito 1 point above the rest. Then the SmackDown Tag Team ladder match that turned into just a singles triple threat thing. We actually wound up changing our predictions for that because how it changed, where it was a singles match, or it was a triple threat match, but it wasn't tag team. So Franco and Zach both picked John Morrison, who won. Everybody else picked Kofi. They got that wrong, so Franco's got 2 above everybody else. And Zach's got 1, yay. Next, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Franco, Taquito, Hunter, and Lou. Oh, no, Franco and Hunter, that's it. I was reading it wrong. They both picked Owens, but Taquito, Zach, and Lou picked Rollins. Owens did win, so if you're keeping up, Franco is storming ahead right now. Next, we have Edge versus Randy Orton. Everybody picked Edge, never mind. The women's 5-way elimination match. Franco picked Sasha Banks, Taquito picked Bayley, Zach picked Banks, Hunter picked Lacey Evans, and Lou picked Sasha Banks. Bayley was the only one that won, giving Taquito a big point there. Next we have Undertaker versus AJ Styles. Franco and Lou both picked AJ Styles, everybody else picked Undertaker. Undertaker did win. Next we got Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. Taquito picked Braun, everybody else picked... Well, no, Taquito and Lou picked Braun. Everybody else picked Goldberg. Braun did win. So Taquito and Lou got a point there. Taquito climbing back. Lou climbing back a little bit too. Next, Fiend versus Cena. Zach and Hunter both picked John Cena. They both got that wrong. Everybody else picked the Fiend and got it right. Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. Franco and Zach both picked Charlotte, and Franco and Zach both got that one right while everybody else got it wrong. Next, Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. We have everybody picking Otis except for Franco who picked Dolph Ziggler. That hurt him a lot in this, because you can see he stormed ahead, but recently Taquito's been climbing back, Zach's been climbing back a little bit, a little bit of Lou in there. Next, we have Blitz and Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. This is an added match, like, on Raw, the week, like, the Go Home Raw. So we predicted it off video. Franco and Hunter both picked Bliss and Cross. Everybody else picked Kabuki. Bliss and Cross did win. And then we have... That's it. That's all the matches. Every other match they predicted the same on. They either got it wrong or they got it right. It didn't really matter because it was a wash anyways. So let me tell you the actual official things, because it's hard to keep up with that. There's 18 matches. I wasn't going to tell you how much they were up every time. So... in this match, we had Lou do the worst. He went 9-9, exactly 500. After night 1, he had about 3 wins. And night 2, he stormed back, but he still did the worst. Next, we got Hunter at 10-8. Just one better than Lou. Then also Zach at 10-8, same as Hunter. And then we have El Taquito at 12-6 for night 1 and 2, along with Franco at 12-6 for night 2 and 1 and 2. So that's all the competitors. There were 2 that tied for the best, 12-6. Franco and El Taquito tied in the Figgy Memorial Battle Royal. It seems to be a very popular thing to tie in this thing. 2nd year running that we have a tie, and we've only had 2 Battle Royals. So, I got in contact, well, I tried to get in contact with Taquito or Franco to get word on their win/tie. I got a hold of Franco. He told me he's gonna talk to us next week. It was, I don't really know what he was saying. But yeah, I guess we'll hear from Franco next week. And Taquito, I just wasn't able to get a hold of. So I'm gonna try again, because you know how this Mexican internet is, so it might be hard. I'm gonna try again, and if he can't get in contact with me before next Wednesday, then I might just have to give the win to Franco. But as of right now, I don't know. We might do a match at Money in the Bank to determine the number 1 contender. One of them might just give up the number 1 contendership. One of them might forfeit the match, like Taquito, if he doesn't contact me. We'll see, though. But as for now, that's your 2 winners. They tied. Everybody else lost. Zach, Hunter, and Lou lost. So moving on to the next match then. We have Brandon versus Sebi in night 1 for the 2nd and final match of night 1. So, Elias versus Corbin. Brandon picked Elias, Sebi picked Corbin. Elias won, Brandon won up. Next, SmackDown Tag Ladder match. Brandon picked the John Morrison man, and Sebi picked Kofi. John Morrison won, Brandon up 2. This one's a lot easier to tell you which one's up because it's only 2 people. Next match they differed on because it had a lot. There was a good strand here in which they didn't differ. Braun versus Goldberg. Sebi picked Goldberg. Brandon picked Braun. Brandon is 3 up. Next we have Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. Sebi picked Sami Zayn. Brandon picked Daniel Bryan. Sami Zayn won, which means 2 up is Brandon now because Sebi got a point back. Next we have Liv Morgan versus Natalya. And I'll tell you right now, this was actually the decider. This was a kickoff show match. And it was the decider for night 2 for the whole show, for the whole match for them. Brandon picked Liv Morgan. Sebi picked Natalya. Brandon won. Brandon up 3. Bliss and Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors. Brandon picked Kabuki. Sebi picked Bliss and Cross. Bliss and Cross did win, but it doesn't really matter because officially Brandon went 12-6, and Sebi went 10-8. So, Brandon has officially defeated Sebi at Kangamania. He put the Jewish religion on the line, and he defended that religion. The Jewish religion stays. And Brandon had something to say about beating Sebi, so here you go.
Hey, we fucking did it, boys. We did it. We fucking did it. I told you what would happen, Sebi. I fucking told you what would happen. And you know what? We sent you packing back home, back to Iraq, back to Pittsburgh, back to shitty town, and never to be seen again. I beat the shit out of you, Sebi. And now it's time to fucking celebrate. We got some nice fucking brandy over here. We're gonna do a shot to celebrate. This is to Sebi for being the biggest loser in KKPL history. But now, but now, there's a question about the future. What does it hold? What does the future hold for me? Now that I finally took down Sebi, that fucking buffoon, that fucking loser, I'm coming for that KKPL title. So you know what, Kang? Congrats on winning it and holding it for me. But this song is for you, and it's a call out. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Kang. I'm gonna beat that shit out of you, making my title.
Okay, the next match is the Golden Gods, Mikey and Joe, versus Masked Man and Seth Hayes for the KKPL Tag Team Championship. This was the first match of night 2. And Mikey got given a point from Lou winning our tiebreaker for the Elimination Chamber and getting a point added to a match, and he gave it to Mikey, which means they automatically are 1-0, the Golden Gods. Or at least Mikey is, which adds to their team score. So, Elias versus King Corbin. Actually, no. This is hard for me because they differed on them a lot, but a lot of it was a wash still. Like Elias versus King Corbin, Mikey and Masked Man Mikey and Seth Hayes picked Corbin, and Joe and Masked Man picked Elias. So it's differing, but it's not really. All right, so SmackDown Tag Team Ladder Match. Everybody picked Morrison except for Seth Hayes, who picked Jimmy Uso. John Morrison did win. So there you go. Mikey and Joe get up 1 there. Next, we have the women's 5-pack elimination match. Mikey picking Bayley, Joe picking Sasha, and Masked Man and Seth Hayes picking Lacey Evans. Both of them picking Lacey Evans. Bayley did win the match. Mikey and Joe up 2. Actually, 3 because of the point. Next match, John Cena versus The Fiend. Everybody picked The Fiend except for Seth Hayes. The Fiend did win. So Mikey and Joe up 4. Oh. Next match, we have Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar. Mikey picked Brock. Actually, everybody picked Brock except for Joe for some reason. I know why Mikey did it, just in case Brock did win. I don't know why Masked Man and Seth Hayes did it. But they both picked Brock, and Mikey picked Brock to try and counteract it just in case Brock won. But Joe picked the favorite, and the favorite won, Drew McIntyre, which means they're up 5. Next, we have Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. Everybody picked Daniel Bryan, except for Joe, who picked Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn did win, so they're up 6, I believe. I think you can tell right now this is pretty much a blowout. Next, we have Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Mikey and Joe both picked Otis. Masked Man and Seth Hayes both picked Dolph Ziggler. Otis did win. There's 2 more points. Then we got Drew Gulak versus Cesaro. Everybody picked Gulak except for Seth Hayes, who picked Cesaro. So there you go. There's a point back for the Masked Man and Seth Hayes. Then you got the Kabuki Warriors versus Bliss and Cross. Bliss and Cross was picked by Masked Man and Seth Hayes, and Mikey and Joe picked Kabuki Warriors. Bliss and Cross did win. There's some points back as well. But doesn't really matter because Mikey officially went 11-8. That's with the point added. He went 10-8, but he got a point. Joe went 12-6, making their combined score 23-14. And Masked Man and Seth Hayes went 9-9. Masked Man did, and Seth Hayes went 10-8, adding to 19-17. So, by a margin of 4, 3 without a point, without the extra point, the Golden Gods retained the Tag Team Championships again. Of course they did. So, there you go with that. Masked Man and Seth Hayes, they had the balls to step up, but they didn't have the balls to win. And still, your Tag Team Champions, Mikey and Joe. Moving on, then, to the next match. What was thought to be the main event. I'll get to that later. Paul versus Kang for the KKPL Predictions Championship. I am Kang. That was Paul. That other guy. So, matches we differed on. Give me a second. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. I picked Kevin Owens. Paul picked Seth Rollins. I got it right. I'm up 1. Next, women's 5-pack elimination match. Paul picked Bayley. I picked Sasha because this is one that was a toss-up for me. And since he picked Bayley, I picked Sasha. I got it wrong, though, sadly. So, we're tied again. Typical Paul. Next, we have Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Paul picked Dolph Ziggler. I picked Otis. I win. Up 1. Then, the only other match that we differed on. The Kabuki Warriors versus Bliss and Cross. So, if Paul gets this one right, we tie. If I get it right, I win by 2. Paul picked the Kabuki Warriors. I picked Bliss and Cross. And Bliss and Cross won. I go 12-6 for the pay-per-view. Paul goes 10-8. And I am your new KKPL Predictions Champion. Just like I said I would do. Just like the plan was laid out weeks ago, where I said the Golden Gods will walk out of Kangamania with all the titles. Actually, I said we'd skip out of Kangamania with all the titles. And we have. We got the main title and the tag titles all in our grasp. Oh, yeah. Feels nice. And I got Paul's girl. I got his girl and his gold. I don't want to dwell on that too much. I don't mind Paul. Paul did a good job predicting. We only differed on a few matches because we knew what we were doing. But the ones we differed on, I got right mostly. So thank you, Paul, for that. And get out of here. I don't need you anymore. I'm done with you. I beat you. So, like I said, that was the expected main event because it was the world title. But it was not the main event for Kangamania. If you watch Night 2, you know it wasn't. Because the main event for Kangamania was Buffy versus Kenshin. Let's get to the different matches then. We have Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Buffy picked Kevin Owens. Kenshin picked Seth Rollins. Buffy got it right. Buffy up 1. Women's title, 5-pack elimination match for SmackDown Women's Championship. Buffy picked Naomi. And Kenshin picked Bayley. Bayley won. It's tied. Next, we have Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Buffy picking Otis. Kenshin picking Dolph Ziggler. Otis wins. Drew Gulak versus Cesaro. Buffy picked Cesaro. Kenshin picked Drew Gulak. Cesaro won. That means Buffy's up 2. And actually, that means that's it because they don't live for any other matches, which means Buffy, who went 12-6, tying with me. And amongst Franco and Joe and Taquito, so like 5 people, we all went 12-6 for the highest record on the show. Kenshin went 10-8. I said Kenshin? I'm sorry. Kenshin. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. Kenshin went 10-8. Respectable. A lot of people went 10-8. Buffy went 12-6, tied for the best record of the show. Buffy wins. Buffy wins our debut match. Kenshin loses his. Buffy in the main event of Kangamania has defeated Kenshin. And there you go. I'll go over it one more time. For Kangamania, we have the Figgy Memorial Battle Royal, Taquito and Franco tie. We have the Brandon versus Sebi match. Brandon beats Sebi. The Tag Team Championship match, Mikey and Joe retained, obviously. The World Title match, I won, obviously. And then Buffy versus Kenshin, Buffy won. And not only did Buffy win, seems that Buffy has something to say to all of you Kangamaniacs out there. So, I'll let Buffy have the floor.
Oh, wait, we got one more person to speak. You know who else won this weekend? You know who else won? Buffy, what do you have to say? Her voice box isn't working right now, so she says, "Fuck you, Kenshin. I'm coming for you next, whoever's up to challenge me." And she says a lot of words I can't repeat. But fuck you, Kang. Fuck you, Sebi, especially. And I'm coming for that title.
Thank you, Buffy, for being in the main event of Kangamania, and thank all of you for watching this week's episode. I know it was quite long and boring. I hope you were entertained by it. We have to do this every month. This is how it goes. You know who won now, though, officially. And you know I am your predictions champion. The first ever to win the Royal Rumble, then go on to win the world title, the predictions championship at Kangamania. I said what I was going to do, and I did it. Just like Drew McIntyre, my Scottish brother. So, we'll see what's happening for Money in the Bank, if it's even happening, because the it's COVID-19. And we'll come up with some matches in the upcoming weeks, and we'll see what happens with Taquito and Franco. We'll see what happens with my prediction championship, and we'll see what happens with the Money in the Bank match. But for now, that's it. So thank you for tuning in, and like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that, all that shit, and get out of here.
THANKYOU, thank you, thank you. THANKYOU.
Thank you, Kang.